The Steelers beat the Giants 26-18. I'm not even going to really. I guess Russ is going to bring in, but it's not necessarily a Russ focused question. I just want to know, based off how it was when Russ came back, I guess they were a quarterback away potentially. Are the Steelers a threat in the AFC to go to the AFC Championship and Super Bowl? Mel, I'm gonna come to you.
No, no, but I expect them to play really good football and be coached well and have a veteran quarterback that's probably not going to make the mistakes a younger quarterback would in the playoffs, and a quarterback that's been there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got a defense in the playoffs when it's cold, and you can sack the quarterback, yeah, you can win some games in there, but getting to the Super Bowl, nah, no. They'll play good though.
I don't know. I might be different. I think they do need another receiver. I do believe they need another receiver. So we'll see what happens on the trade deadline, which is, I believe, next Tuesday. Just so happens to be election day at the same time. Make sure you go vote.
Please.
But uh, that defense to me is special when I don't think they played their greatest last game, but when they're really playing like they're supposed to, that defense is special. I just feel like Russ makes this offense look different. I understand Justin Fields, he's more mobile, he could run himself out of trouble a lot of times, but his throws just weren't accurate or he wouldn't get enough air under the ball. If you look at that Russ throw yesterday to George Pickens, he threw it dead smack in his hands.
Dropped it
Hit him.
right on the ball.
That was a
Yeah.
dime right in his hands. I feel like that's what they were missing. And Russ is capable of making those throws. And I think people forgot that based off of the bull crap that he had to go through. And maybe he caused part of that bull crap too, in Denver, because I don't think they believed in Rust in Denver. I just don't. I think they basically say you're getting older, it's time for you to go. And what Mike Tomlin, and I said this, Mel, I said this. um, yeah, I'm on a revenge tour this week for some reason.
Mhm.
I said Mike Tomlin sees something in Russ. He has trust in Russ. That's why he put him back in that starting lineup. He could do things that Justin Fields just doesn't is not capable of doing at this point in time in his career. And I think it's a perfect position for Justin Fields. He gets to sit back and learn from a Super Bowl winning quarterback who has gotten it done. Yeah, it was a long time ago, 13, 14 years ago, however long ago, but he did get it there and they just look different. But again, I still think if they can get a receiver at this trade deadline, I'm gonna say they can at least go for the AFC Championship. I think they could beat Baltimore based off that defense. I do. I don't think Baltimore's defense is. They've been struggling lately. I think the Chiefs might be another situation. At the same time, I don't think Patrick Mahomes has been playing well, but that defense is just lights out. And Patrick Mahomes, he's such a great quarterback because he makes the plays when that play's supposed to happen. Right? So we always talking about situational football. You need a play right now. Patrick Mahomes makes that play. So I won't put him in that category just yet. But anybody else in the AFC, I can actually see them beating, or having a big opportunity big chance to beat those teams. I really do. But K Walk, what are your thoughts on this?
No, yeah, I kind of agree with you here, Britt, because when you look at their the current standings and the things of that nature, and the Ravens losing to the Browns, that put them in the front seat of the AFC North, which a lot of people think is one of the toughest divisions and all of football. So right now, if the playoffs were to start, God, I hope they don't, because my Niners wouldn't be in it. But
Hmm.
they would be number 3 seed right now. They would be the number 3 seed right now. So, but and when you look at this, the way that they're playing and the move that they made and the way they're responding to Russ, I was one to say that don't if it's not broke, don't break it, because
Right.
I thought Russ was just was just moving that machine along just fine without any without any hiccups or anything like that. No, they weren't winning decisively. But you mentioned the defense. That defense is a solid defense, and Justin Fields was in a position. You can call him a game manager, where you just ask him. You don't have to go out there and win the game. Just don't lose it for us. And I think that's what Justin Fields is doing. But to your point, Britt, I think Russ, the way he's playing right now, does give them that big play, that big play quarterback there, where he's willing to take those shots, and he's willing to, not only willing but able to make those shots as well. Like you mentioned, that one he dropped in the bucket in the corner. So I think it was to Pickens. But yeah, I think when you can have a defense like that, when you have a defense like that, and you have a seasoned quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback who can still get the job done, you have to look at the Steelers and say they're a serious contender. I'm not saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not picking them to go to the Super Bowl, but they're not going to make it easy for you. You're going to have to bring your lunchbox and your hard hat each and every game you play these guys. Hey, hence the name Pittsburgh Steelers, blue collar city. So blue collar city, or blue collar players without question. And Mike Tomlin is known for not losing.
Yeah, I've seen Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals be such a good team with way more weapons at receiver and running back and quarterback, not be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs, and
the rest,
right? And I'm not, and I'm right. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you beat Kansas City in the playoffs? Like, if they got more men on the field than you, how are you beating them? And they got the better quarterback. How are you beating them in the playoffs? So there's no way but Pittsburgh get past Kansas City. You right. It would be it wouldn't be shocking if they got past Baltimore. And they probably could, they could beat the Bills. They could beat maybe they can beat the Texans, but I wouldn't pick them against the Texans, Kansas City, or Baltimore. I would probably pick them against Buffalo, though.
Not against the Texans?
No, not the
They
Texans.
just lost Stephon Diggs. I know Nico Collins, he should be returning, but he has a hamstring injury. We know how that can linger. And I just don't know if CJ Stroud's been playing great this year so far. I mean, it's still pretty early.
Great. But he ain't playing Aaron Rodgers bad. He playing good enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. It ain't like Russ playing better than him. You know what I mean? Listen.
I know, but look at the defense. Like, you got to go against that Steelers defense, though.
Texans got a good defense as well. But look, the team that's been playing good the longest is going to have the advantage in the playoffs, man. You can't just get hot. Oh, we just threw this quarterback in. I mean, it happens sometime, and they get on the run. I just don't see it. Right. I don't see it with this team. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know if I could underestimate Mike Tomlin and
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I feel like he's just been waiting to get a decent quarterback on his hands. He got it. And again, they still got the trade deadline. Again, I still think they need one more move. I said that earlier. I think they need a second receiver. But George Pickens came out in an interview and said that. I forgot who he was talking to, but he said, because they asked him about Justin Fields versus Russ, and they asked him, do he think he could be a top 5 receiver? And he said, if I got the right quarterback, I absolutely can. So
sheesh.
And is Russ the right quarterback? Keep going down too. Right. If all the receivers keep going down, it's going to be hard to get a quality receiver for sure.
That is true.
Without paying for it. Yeah,
so it's definitely going to be interesting.